Hey guys, I'm ChezPride, and welcome to another video where we are voting for the stuff pack, where the sim community is helping us make a stuff pack. The theme is ego living. We have gotten to pick everything from the theme up to what we are at now, which is the fourth vote. So we are here today. We are choosing gameplay features. Right here is the blog where you can click here to go to the vote, but it just also has a bunch of information, like all the dates and all the information and that you would basically need. And yes, it is 1:47 a.m. in the morning because I was about to go to bed and I realized the vote had been casted, and I like to get this video out as soon as possible when I'm doing these votes because it's only like a limited amount of time, as you can see here. So the feature vote is only until the 26th of this month, and then the icon vote, it looks like, will be coming out September 6th through September 8th, and then the title vote will be September 13th through September 15th, which is the first time they've actually put the actual dates out on it. The rest of the time that they've just said sometime in the fall, so they have now confirmed when those votes will be, which is really helpful. But if you want to read this blog or go to the link, you can go to the link from here, or I'm just also going to have the direct link in the box. As you can see, I've already favorited them, so I can just go ahead and put the link on down below for you guys. So, like I've said before I go into this vote, I think that it's really awesome that the Sims team is helping us by letting us choose like what game features and help make a stuff pack. I think it's really cool that they're walking us through the process and showing us how they do it as well. A lot of videos that they're going behind the scenes of how they're creating the stuff, like in the most recent broadcast they did, they were showing us how they were making the features. Or was it in the broadcast, or was it just a video? I don't know, but all this stuff is like on Sims VIP. If you guys don't follow Sims VIP on YouTube, you should totally go do it because it's such cool information and it's such, like, you get updated on everything. But anyway, enough rambling. And what I was pretty much trying to get to the point of is you guys should go vote on this and be a part of this because this is really awesome. So anyway, I'm at the survey and I just choose my region, which obviously I speak English, so I'm going to choose the English region. So for here, I'm just going to zoom in on this a little bit. There we go. Okay, so they have 4 different groups that we can choose from. I'm going to read through them and I'm going to give my thoughts and do my vote. So the first one is food preservatives. And I'm sorry, I have a lot of trouble reading sometimes. I'm going to make this as clear as possible. So, but if you can't understand the things I'm saying, that's why I'm trying to zoom in on this as much as I can for you guys, and maybe you guys can read along or something. I'm not sure. So, food preservatives, a collection of features that add new things to harvestable fruits, vegetables, allowing your Sims to produce and store food for personal use or profit. Some gameplay features ideas include can preserving, a new countertop electrical can pot that allows Sims to take harvestables and preserves them for a long time storage, or to make fresh jams. When harvestables is preserved, the contents of the canning jar will no longer spoil. At any point, the Sims can retrieve the harvestable as fresh as the day they were canned. When fruits turn into jam, new recipes are available to make toast and jam, bagels and jam, or scones with jams. I really like scones, so that would be really fun, especially with jam. Scones with jams are like my jam. Hehe. Nectar making, which I feel like I'm just gonna go and say it, even if this isn't included in the stuff pack, I feel like at some point they will make it a point to put nectar in the game, like nectar making in the game, because it's been in every other game. So nectar making, a new nectar making objects paired with new nectar making skills. Use one of these objects allow Sims to use grapes and other harvestables to create nectar, which can then be aged to nectar aging racks to increase the value of the bottle nectar. New varieties of grapes would be available for planting and harvesting for Sims with the garden skill, which would be really awesome because I do a lot of gardening in my Sims. Superfood harvestable plants. A new harvestable plant, the exact type of plant not determined yet. Superfood will add new recipes or have the option to be added to some existing recipes to make them healthier. I'm assuming if it's a new plant, it can also be sold for profit, which is always very nice. Okay, laundry, which is what everyone but pretty much me is excited for. Oh, these are in a different order than in Alexis's video. Alexis is the main person that does Sims VIP, by the way, if you didn't know. So, laundry, an optional gameplay system that can only be used by active household when laundry objects are placed in the Sims home lot. Movelets and modifiers to the decay rate of certain and needs to serve as home of the benefits and pushback of the systems. Some gameplay features include washing machines. Sims can use the washing machine to clean dirty clothes that are collected from a hamper or piles of clothes off the ground. Objects could break and be upgraded and potentially have a fun interaction or funny failure. Funny failures are always fun. Dryer. Sims can take clothes that have just been cleaned in the washing machine or wash tub and have them dried. Objects could also break as well as being upgraded. Hamper. When a Sim in the active household changes their outfit on a home lot, laundry is added to the hamper as long as it exists anywhere on the lot. Over time, the hamper will gradually fill up. If there is no hamper or the hamper is full, then the clothes piles will appear on the ground. I like the fact that they have it that where they don't have to pick up the pile and then go put it in the hamper. That was how it was in Sims 3. I like the idea of a hamper, but at the same time, I don't want to have to be required to buy the hamper for it to avoid the clothes on the ground. But I just don't like the idea of laundry in general. Clotheslines, which this sounds kind of cool. I would actually kind of enjoy the clothesline wash tub. Sims who prefer eco-conscious can choose to use a clothesline as an alternative to the dryer. Using clotheslines does not require power and offers savings on the weekly bill, but clothes take longer to dry. Wash tub. Sims who prefer eco-conscious can choose a wash tub as an alternative to a washing machine. Using a wash tub does not require our power or water. It offers saving on the weekly bill, but Sims must remain at the object to wash their clothes by hands. Can choose to use a wash tub as an alternative to a washing machine. Using a wash tub does not require power or water, and yeah, it's just pretty much a repeat of exactly what they just said. I think. Yeah. Yeah, it's exactly what they just said. But that doesn't really make sense on how it doesn't use water, because if a wash tub is like literally it's a tub filled with soapy water that you use I don't even know what they're called. They're kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. You have to look up a picture, but it's pretty much something you scrub your clothes against to get all the dirt off of it. It kind of looks like when you put sometimes there's a fan. This is the only way I know how to describe it. I don't know if you've never seen one of these. I don't know how to describe it. But there's like a box fan that has like 2 fans on it, and then to cover the rest of what the fan doesn't cover in the window, like it has these things you can pull out, and it kind of looks like that, but it's like metal, and it's kind of like that plus like a cheese grater, but it doesn't grate your clothes, if that makes any sense. So I don't see how that would be correct. But, you know. Sims. Logic. Not always there! Okay, so the next one is Off the Grid. An optional gameplay system for Sims who want to disconnect from utility grids instead choose to live life off the land. Some gameplay features include off the grid lot trait. When this trait is selected, they will no longer receive electricity or water utilities. Bills are significantly reduced and eliminated altogether. Well pump / water well. An object that provides a means of acquiring water. Sims will be required to occasionally pump water and attach at reserve. I don't know that word. Would display how much water is remaining to supply the lot before the well must be pumped again. If the reservoir is empty, objects requiring water will become temporarily unstable if the off-grid lot is active. Reduces weekly bills and has the potential to break or have upgrades. Solar panels. An object that provides a means of acquiring power. The Sims would be required to occasionally celebrate. That's not what that said, but okay. And clean solar panels to ensure it still supplies enough power to the lot. If the panels are not maintained, then the objects requiring power become temporarily unusable if the off-the-grid lot trait is active. Reduces weekly water bills and has potential upgrades. May look like a traditional solar or may appear to be tree-made solar panels. Will be ground placeable object only. Okay, I like the idea of a tree of solar panels, or however they worded that. Like, if it's a tree that, or is it solar panels that's meant to look like a tree, that would look kind of cool and futuristic a little bit. But at the same time, I don't like the idea of them only being ground-placed objects. Wood turbine. An object that provides a means of acquiring power. The Sims would be occasionally celebrant and clean wind turbine to ensure it can still supply enough power to the lot. If the wind turbine is not maintained, then the requiring power may become temporarily unstable if the off-the-grid lot is active, reducing weekly bills and has potential upgrades. It may look like a residential wind turbine on a pole, or it may be a tree of a small wind turbines as leaves. Will be ground placeable only. Same point as I made last time. I don't like the fact that it would be ground placeable only, but this time I get it. It's a little bit more reasonable to be ground placed only. But I don't like this that the solar panels can't be placed on the roof, because when I think of solar panels, I just automatically think on the roof. It's just what pops in my head. But the tree with turbines as leaves sounds really cool. Okay, so carbon conscious. A collection of features that allow Sims to reduce their carbon as a variety of ways. Some gameplay feature ideas include the free gain trait. I'm really trying not to say the freaking trait, because that's what I want to say, that's what it sounds like to me, but it's the free gain trait. Sims will, with the free gain trait, have interactions to rummage in large or small trash cans. The potential elsewhere to use scrounge ingredients. Will include some ingredients to discover: apple core, banana peels, etc. New ingredients will be used to prepare new recipes that free game Sims will love. Pre-game Sims will eat spoiled food without getting sick. Pre-game Sims will also use the composter object and will receive special mulets when doing so. I really like the idea that you could eat spoiled food without getting sick. That's actually kind of cool. Gross, but cool. Composter, an object that will be used to dispose trash, dead plants, spoiled food / hard puzzles, will scrape the remains of meals into it. As the composter is filled, the contents are converted into fertilizer. Fertilizer can be used on hard souls in accordance with the garden skill. Kind of sounds cool, but at the same time, fertilizer doesn't, in my at least gameplay experience with gardening, which I've been gardening since my first challenge on YouTube, which was the Lesbian Lover 100 Raid Challenge that I still have going, and it's still a really big part of the challenge is gardening. It's like in every video almost. Fertilizer doesn't make too much of a difference, and it's just kind of annoying. And honestly, I feel like we can dispose of almost anything in the trash can we have and make money off of it. It's like that really cool trash can that's like $1,000, but it makes you like so much money, like $80 a plate. Yeah, I feel like that's more useful than a composer. Recycling bins can be placed in from build modes that function differently, even trash cans. Sims with certain traits will prefer to use a recycling bin when available, and will receive special mulets for doing so. Sims have an option to rummage through existing trash cans to sort the contents. For recycling, Sims will have an option to take recycling they've collected it to a recycling center, or Sims will walk off the lot and disappear and return a short while later with extra simoleons. Okay. So here are my overall thoughts. I kind of gave you thoughts on certain ones, like certain details. Food research. I really like the idea of this, actually. Not so much nectar making. I feel like it's just a necessity that they will somehow have to put in Sims, because nectar making is such a big part of Sims. Cane preserves, I like the idea because you can make jam and then sell it, and that would give us more profit. But I normally end up just selling all my plants anyway, for profit, so I don't know which would be more profitable. Know what I'm saying? Superfood plant, I really like the idea of that though. And I really like the idea that it has a lot of money making to do with gardening. That is a big part of my gameplay in Sims. Laundry, from the beginning, I've never been really excited about it. Honestly, I just found it a nuisance in The Sims 3. It's a nuisance in real life. I hate doing laundry. Why would I want to bring that into my game? I think it's a really cool object. I think that everyone was so excited for it that they should just automatically put at least a washer and dryer in the eco living system. But Sim Guru Graham, not Sam, already stated that laundry will not automatically be put in the game. And I think everyone was so looking forward to laundry that they should at least put a washer and dryer in there. I like the idea of the clothesline, but at the same time, it's just, I don't think it's necessary. Sims don't change clothes on a regular basis. I do make it in my game where I give everyone multiple outfits, so it looks like they're changing clothes, so it bugs me when they're wearing the same thing 24/7. But that can be changed in Creative Sim. I don't think laundry is very actually necessary, but I think it is something they should put in the pack just because a lot of people are wanting it. When it comes to off the grid, honestly, I like the idea of the trees or stuff that looks like trees. I really think the wind turbine tree would be really cool. It's a really cool idea, but I don't think I would ever use the off the grid trait, honestly. I would just rather use electricity then have to go out of my way, which kind of defeats the whole purpose because it's an eco-living stuff pack. But you get what I mean. Like, I don't really think it's like that big. Not that. I like the fact. I will say I like the fact that all of these are optional. I like the fact that it won't have to be something you have to do. But I don't feel like you would be buying. I don't feel like the pack would be worth buying if it's not something I'm going to use, you know? So, in the carbon collisions, I like this idea. I do. I really like the fact the free gains trait. I think that would be kind of cool. Not something I probably use regularly, but it sounds kind of cool. And I like the idea of recycling. That's another way to get you money. A lot of the challenges I do, especially the main challenge I do, which is Lesbian Lover 100B challenge, that's my absolutely favorite challenge. It's been my challenge from the beginning, and it's still my favorite. But a lot of challenges require you having to get money. So a lot of things I like is more ways for you to get money. So I like that. So it's really between the carbon conclusion and the food preserves, but because the food preserves has more to do with gardening, which is already a big part of my gameplay, I think that's what I'm going to choose. This was a very close second, though. I would not mind if any of this stuff was in the game pack. I would not mind at all. The composter, again, fertilizer, not that big a deal to me when it comes to gardening, but everything else I really liked on it. But the food frizz, it has nectar making. That's just, I feel like it's necessary to be put in the game at some point. Even though I don't use it that much, but I really like nectar being in the game. So, the fact that you can go and make it, like you could, and I feel like it would be, if they did another like adventures pack, like they did in Sims 3, that if it wasn't chosen in this pack, it would be put in that, you know? But I really like the superfood and the new plant. I always want more plants, and the canning. So that's what I'm going to choose, you guys. So I will submit. So there we go. Survey is taken. I don't want to share what I stand on current events. So like I've said before, all those links will be down below. Please make sure to go and vote for this because it's a really cool idea and it's a really cool thing that is happening and a great opportunity for the Sims community to be a part of the Sims game. So anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and do all that awesome stuff because you guys are awesome people, and I'll see you next time. Alright, bye!